This is my first video update coming to you from Nicosia, Cyprus on this Friday morning. Let's do a quick video and talk about what is going on in the world today, a couple of days before the new year. And the first story that we should discuss, is the passing away of football legend Pelé, perhaps the greatest footballer of all time. And he passed away yesterday. May Pelé rest in peace. A sad day for football, for Brazil, and for the entire world. Pelé is the only footballer to have won 3 World Cups. And in my opinion, along with Maradona, those two are the greatest to have ever played the game, the sport. But Pelé actually is also credited in a way with bringing football to the United States, to North America. In 1975, he signed a $2.8 million contract, the largest contract for an athlete at the time. He signed this contract with the New York Cosmos of the North American Football League, I believe is what it was called at the time. So Pelé, at the age of 34, he decided to play football for the New York Cosmos, New York City, and bring the beautiful game to the United States. So Pelé was quite an amazing person, indeed, and he will be missed. So let's now shift gears and talk about a little bit about the missile strikes yesterday. I mentioned in a video last week that Russia was changing strategy. Not changing, maybe adapting, you could say, adapting their strategy a bit, in that they weren't only targeting the electric infrastructure of Ukraine. Last week, they started to target air defense systems of Ukraine. And yesterday, they continued that strategy. They sent something like 120 Calibra missiles in Ukraine, doing a tremendous amount of damage, not only to the electric grid in all cities throughout the Ukraine, including Lviv, which suffered something like 90% of the grid was offline, something like that in Lviv, way out in the west. But the Russian military, they also started to really hunt down the Ukraine air defense systems. Let me read you a post from the Telegram channel of Slavyangrad, which says that the Russian armed forces use E-95M air targets to expose Ukrainian air defense systems. They are designed to imitate targets of any type. The E-95M simulates maneuverable targets such as RPVs, gliding guided aerial bombs, cruise missiles, and certain planes and helicopters of tactical and army aviation. These air targets, target drones, or target missiles are not equipped with a warhead. They are sent at the forefront of a wave of drones and cruise missiles. After that, the identified enemy air defense systems are destroyed by missiles. So, what does that mean? Military experts, let me know in the comments down below. What does it mean when an army is at first taking out the energy, the electric infrastructure and grid of a country, and then decides to go after the air defense systems of that country? What comes next? What do you think all of this is leading to? Obviously, the Russian military is softening up the military and the defenses of Ukraine, but softening it up for what? What comes next? Is this leading to some sort of an offensive, or is this a deterrent measure, or maybe both? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very interested to hear what people have to say with regards to this evolution of a strategy that the Russian military is undertaking. So Lavrov, he mentioned in an interview yesterday that via back channels of the Russian embassy in the United States, through various back channels, the United States has assured the Russians that there will be no U.S. military forces accompanying the Patriot missile system if and when it arrives in Ukraine. Lavrov said, and I quote, "We've asked the Americans through the channels that our embassy still has whether their decision to hand over a Patriot battery to Ukraine means that American specialists would come along with it, since it is complicated to use." Lavrov said that the Russian diplomats received extensive explanations, that's a quote, in which the U.S. officials assured them they had no such plans, according to the minister. It is precisely because the Americans do not want to and will not fight directly against Russia that the Patriot system would only be made operational in several months, as soon as the Ukrainian soldiers master the technology, Lavrov said. So, if you go off of the statement from Lavrov, and if you believe that the United States has no intention whatsoever to send American troops into Ukraine to operate the Patriot system, I think that leaves you with two options with regards to the Patriot system. Option number one is that the U.S. military will not send American specialists to operate the Patriots, but they're going to send NATO specialists to operate the Patriots. Okay, that's option number one. And option number two is that this decision to hand over the Patriot system to Ukraine is a political decision, and the Biden White House and the Pentagon is well aware of the fact that this Patriot system will not make any difference whatsoever to the eventual outcome of the conflict. And so by the time you supposedly train these Ukraine soldiers to operate the Patriot system and to have them understand how the system works and to become specialists in the Patriot system, by the time that's accomplished and you go through the motions, the conflict will have reached some sort of resolution. And so the Biden White House is just basically saying, or the Pentagon in this case is basically saying to the neocons and to the other warmongers who are pressing for patriots to go to Ukraine, they're just kind of saying, okay, we'll get one Patriot system to Ukraine, but by the time we train everybody and train all the Ukrainians how to use this system, it's going to need 6 months. So, politically, we've given you what you wanted. Neocons, Newland, Blinken, all of you guys, here you go. Here's your Patriot system. Now we're going to train the Ukraine soldiers. It'll take us 6 months. So, just be patient. And they know that in 6 months, the dynamic of the war on the ground will have changed significantly, and the Patriot system may not even make it there by that time. Maybe. I mean, that's probably the other option. Of course, you could have a third option, which is that the Biden White House is just going to train the Ukraine military, and in 6 months, whatever the situation is on the ground in Ukraine, whatever's going on in 6 months, they're going to send that Patriot system to Ukraine with the Ukraine military trained in how to use the Patriot system as best they can, and the Russians will annihilate the system, and that'll be that. I guess that's option number 3. But I don't know. I think a lot of the Patriot, sending one Patriot system to Ukraine, I think a lot of it is just meant to provide some political cover and to kind of get the neocons to shut up a bit. That's my thinking, but who knows? Who knows? Or, of course, they're going to send other NATO forces to operate the Patriot. That could also be. an option, going off of what Lavrov said in this interview. Anyway, let's wrap this video up. Let's make this a quick video and do a clown world here. And this clown world is coming from the New York Times. By the way, there's talk that Viktor Orban, that Hungary, is going to be asking the European Union to reconsider the anti-Russian sanctions. I think that's an interesting development because the sanctions are going to come up to a vote again. They're going to re-examine and discuss the sanctions at the EU after the first year of implementing this sanctions policy, and it looks like Hungary is going to basically go to Van der Crazy and say, look, these sanctions have not worked. They've been a disaster, and it's time to roll them back, which I think would make for a very interesting story when that does happen. Of course, the EU they're not going to roll back anything, but it's going to be interesting to see Hungary once again go head to head with Van der Crazy and expose her terrible decisions with regards to sanctions and Russia, decisions that have weakened and have permanently weakened the European Union. This guy's selling potatoes right now, coming up. Selling potatoes. Good potatoes, he says. Let's do a clown world here from the New York Times. Fresh potatoes, everybody. See the potatoes right there? He said €5 for one of those bags of potatoes. Not bad. Not a bad deal at all. Potatoes, we've got oranges, tangerines, whatever they are. I'm not good with this type of stuff, but all kinds of food. All kinds of food in this video. Nord Stream, the New York Times. In Nord Stream mystery, Baltic seabed provides a nearly ideal crime scene. As investigators piece together clues, Russia has quietly taken steps to begin expensive repairs on the giant gas pipeline, complicating theories about who was behind September's sabotage. This is via the New York Times. I'm seeing here nytimes.com, December 26th. Who could be behind the Nord Stream sabotage? And damn it, the Russians are starting to repair things, and they're going to mess up the crime scene. Russia's fault. Russia's fault. All the clues are there. They're all there, and they're just waiting for Germany and the collective West and the United States. They're just waiting for the investigators to get down there and figure things out, because all the clues, they're there and they're very well preserved. The clues are very, very well preserved. And just as the investigators from the collective West are about to go to the scene of the crime and figure this thing out, those Russians, they go there and start fixing things. That definitely means that they did it. They're trying to cover up their tracks. Oh, boy. This whole Nord Stream thing is, this has been just, wow. I don't know if it's like the most damaging, catastrophic, serious story of the year, or if it's the most clownish story of the year, given the narratives that are being spun by the collective West with regards to who sabotaged the pipelines, Who did it? Who did it? We just don't know. Anyway, all right. That is the video, guys. theduran.locals.com. Look for us on Rockfin as well. Check out Alexander's channel. Check out the Duran's channel on all the platforms. Telegram, Rumble, BitChute, and ODYSEE. And Duran Shop, 10% off. Use the code Good Day. I am signing out from Nicosia, Cyprus for today. Take care.